Okay, so let's see how we can use the table library. What we're actually going to do is we're going to implement a stack and a queue. I'm going to show you how to basically approximate a stack and a queue using tables. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but now I'm going to give you a real example. It's really easy to create a stack or a queue. Now, these aren't going to be the most efficient data structures, so this might not be the way that you want to work with a large number of items, but it just shows you the flexibility of the table and how to use the table library. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new file. We're going to save this as table library demo.lua. And what we're going to do in here is let's start off by creating a stack. So I'm going to create an empty table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do table.insert, and I'm just going to say stack and then a value like 32. That's all I'm going to do, and I'm basically going to put an item into that table at the end of it. Now, it's only going to have one item. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And while we're going to do this, we might as well learn about another important basic library function, which is called unpack. Unpack will basically take a table's values and it will unpack them. So it'll turn them into a bunch of individual values, which you can use as arguments to a variadic function. So in our case, print is variadic. So let's do unpack, and we're going to pass stack in here. So we're basically going to get each value of this table as a parameter to print. We only have one here, so we're just going to get 32. But let's see what happens if we do a table.insert again. So we're going to insert into our stack 15. So now let's go ahead and run the same print code here. And you can see we've got 32 and then 15. 15 is on top of the stack at this point. So now if we did something like table.remove, and we pass in our stack, and then we print this out, you'll see that 15 is essentially popped off of the stack. And you'll also notice that remove actually returns us that value. So we can actually do something like v equals, and then if we were to print here, we can print what v is, which will be our number. So we got 15 here because we popped that off the stack. So let's go ahead and try doing a couple more inserts here. So if we just copy this line, let's say we inserted 13 and then 11, and then we print this. You can see that this is operating just like a stack. We have 13 and 11 on top. So a real simple way to create a stack. Now let's say we wanted to make a queue. We can do that pretty easily as well. So instead of just using our insert, let's go ahead and try this. We're going to do table.insert. And when we do insert, we're going to insert to our queue. We're going to specify a position of 1, and then we can insert our value. So let's put in Joe, for instance. And we'll go ahead and load this up. We'll put in Joe, Bob, Mary. And then let's go ahead and unpack this and print it. So we're going to unpack our queue. Now if I were to run this, let's go ahead and comment out our stack. I'm going to use our multi-line comment, which, by the way, another quick trick here. If you have a multi-line comment and you suddenly want it to actually operate again, you can just add one more dash and it all becomes active again, because you're essentially commenting out the start of the comment, and then this is a comment itself. So this is pretty handy. I find that really, really handy. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our queue. So we've got Mary, Bob, and Joe. This is the order of that queue. So if we simply do a table remove, then what's going to happen is we're going to remove the first person we put in. So we should remove Joe. So this is going to operate just like a queue. So let's go ahead and try that out. And now you can see we have Mary and Bob. We took Joe off of there. So we're removing things in the correct order. If we remove the next person, it should be Bob. So Bob is gone, and we just have Mary.